What article did you read?
It was a Washington Post article.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they had already editorialized that you cluttered the stage or something.
That's right. War on terror. When it's not a war, we've always had terror in human society. It should be an intelligence problem. It should be a world police problem. And I would treat it that way.
One thing it said in the article was your views of Iran. You said they're not our enemy, and that we should apologize for what we did in 1952.
There was only two democracies in the Middle East in 1952. One was Israel, and the other one was Iran. And what did we do? We snuffed out their democracy, put in a king, lasted a generation, and it was overthrown by religious fanatics. But the people of Iran are not these religious fanatics. They just inherited the mistakes that we caused, or what the damage that we did.
And we did that, I suppose, because we thought, what? The communists?
Oh, we did that not even for good reason. Let me tell you, Mossadegh, who was the elected prime minister at the time, wanted to nationalize the oil of Iran so that the people could be the beneficiaries of it.
So
and
he
the
was
oil
elected.
company in question, duly elected. And the oil companies in question was British Petroleum. It was our CIA, particularly Kemet Roosevelt, who wrote a book boasting about how he overthrew Mossadegh, trumped up charges. It was just a military coup that took place to put the Shah in. Addiction and drugs, that is a public health problem. It's not a criminal problem. Do you hear any of the candidates talking about that? Why am I so unique that I should talk about these things? Americans know this is a problem. Americans know that the war on drugs is a fraud. You know, when people are candidates running for president, like I am, and they're getting money from pharmaceutical companies, they're getting money from trial lawyers, they're getting money from the healthcare industry, they're getting money from insurance companies, and they're telling you that they're going to bring about universal health care that's affordable, I got to tell you, don't hold your breath, because money rules the roost. And if you want to find out what's going to happen in the future, follow the money. We signed documents to this effect with the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty that we would disarm, slowly decrease the number of nuclear weapons that we have. We have not done that. We have not done. We are in violation. The United States and all of the other 4 members of the Security Council.
We've gotten rid of a few, haven't we? We in the Soviet Union?
Oh yes, we have. A few.
A few.
A few. Not enough. One nuclear submarine, Trident submarine, can hold the entire world hostage. You can hit more than 250 targets. One nuclear submarine, and we have 19 of them. And then we're now we've broke their arms in the Czech Republic to force them to accept ABM missiles. And then we have Poland that we're going to put missiles. Now, we had the arrogance of our Secretary Rice saying, well, what are the Russians worried about? There's only 10 of them. Well, I mean, and they're not for them, of course they're for Iran. Well, they would take a child, an idiot, to not recognize the threat that the Russians feel by our doing that.
How about if next time they ask you about your fellow candidates, like specifically Obama, you say, he's a nice young man, I might tap him for vice president?
I felt that way at the beginning. First off, he's a bright young man, and he is full of potential. I see him just traveling to politics as usual.
Yeah.
And that's just tragic, because he's got a good mind.
He thinks he has to win, I guess.
Well, but what does that say? That's politics as usual.
Exactly.